there's Candace drama, you guys. There's Mock is so upset that she's not here to talk about this, I'm sure. But first, we've got this ex from Ian Carroll who goes on Candace's show, and he's a total jerk and accusing TPUSA of basically murdering Charlie. So this is happening. Check this out. So this is what he said. More and more evidence is pointedly squaring at TPUSA, and it's getting spicy. At this point, we need a special Sunday live stream to go over the evidence. We will go on blah blah blah. He's saying he's going to do it. So basically, he's saying that they did it, and then this guy Yal Yacobi is saying this is Candace Owens co-host saying TPUSA staff murdered Charlie Kirk. If you're a conservative and refuse to call out these demons, you're a coward. But listen, yesterday on Candace's Instagram stories, she teased dropping text messages, and these are her words. I'm going to read them to you. We don't have them for the screen, but I'll read them to you verbatim. Today, I'll be dropping messages from Charlie in his own words, which will dispel a lot of the lies that are being told about him by the people representing themselves as those who loved him most. She went on to say, I hereby sentence all demons to what they hate most, truth. Then she said, people are doing this for clicks. Charlie was not interested in Catholicism. Candace is lying about feelings toward Israel. And then, to those like quotes from other people, she said, challenge accepted. So my thing is that if she wasn't doing this for clicks, then why doesn't she just release the stuff all at once? Or why didn't she release the stuff weeks ago? Because she has gotten a lot of clicks and a lot of subs and a lot of money from those subs and those clicks and all of the stuff that she's been putting out since then. But I digress. Here are the receipts that she provided yesterday. We actually have an X of that. This is the stuff that she put out. So Evan Kilgore, who is obviously on Candace's side in all this, Zionist. Candace Owens never brings the receipts about Charlie Kirk and is embarrassing herself. And then here she is with the quote unquote receipts. So these are the text messages that she put out. I guess it's Charlie saying, and there's no timestamp and there's no date on these. So I don't understand how, because usually when you have a text message, you can see those things.
Mhm.
So I don't understand. And there's a third person in these text messages. We don't know who that is either. So apparently Charlie said, just lost another huge Jewish donor, 2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. And then this third person, I don't know who it is, said, ugh. And then Charlie said, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro Israel cause. And then the third person said, please don't invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term, in my opinion. Like all groups, you're going to get wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times. After dust settles a bit, maybe. That's those are the texts. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when these texts happen. There's no timestamp. I don't know who the third person is. They're not named. I don't know. I don't know what the context of all this was. We don't know what the background was, who it was. I just don't know. There's still a lot of stuff that I have questions about. Um,
Yeah. There's also I see this on both sides because people will release text to be like, "Oh, Charlie said this about Candace," and they're just screen caps, and there's like no proof. And some maybe all of them are real, but I am a little skeptical because I could go in my phone and change, Valen's name to Charlie, and it looks like we've had a text about chicks on the right every day for the last 2 years. Like,
right.
I can put any kind of screen cap out there, and it doesn't really mean that
And
much. And I
right.
think what we do know, and we've said this before, is like Charlie spoke for a living. He talked. There are thousands of hours of him speaking. That for sure I know came out of his mouth. That for sure I know is him. And I think now, when we don't have him to dispute anything, what we should rely on is things that we've heard him say with his own mouth. Because
Amen. Amen, Corinne.
all of these text messages on both sides, I'm like, I don't, they're meaningless. I cannot prove that he typed those. I can't prove that he sent those. I don't know.
Yes, Corinne. Yes, I totally agree with that. It just sucks that he is not here to defend himself, and I just think all of this is awful. All of it's awful. I think it's terrible, and I hope that TPUSA, I hope that Erica starts um, they start talking about this, you know? They start just at least speaking out and saying something. I hate all of this. I really freaking hate all of this. Also, just FYI, 64 Christians were hacked to death in Nigeria last month. A lot of these Christian pundits aren't saying a word about that. I feel like that's a story, and we're not talking about that. We're sure talking a lot about Gaza and Palestinians, but we're not talking about that. And we're Christians. So what's up with that? Like, why aren't a lot of these Christian influencers not talking about Christians being hacked to death? I'm just curious why that's not happening. So there's that. And I'm sure there's going to be stuff that comes out from Candace over the next week because even though she says she's not trying to make a lot of money, she's going to be trickling stuff out all this week because she said she was going to be with like different people every single day this week. So FYI, that's happening.
And
Another
she's
thing that's
really
happened.
tearing apart. Sorry,
Oh no, that's
I
okay.
think that the millennial fan base of like I've followed Candace for a decade. Like I've always really liked her. Um, and Alex Clark from Turning Point is really big. I have always really liked her as well, and now they're fighting over this issue, and I hate to see that. Like regardless of how you feel, of which side you're on, whatever, I hate to see two of our powerhouse conservative women who have such authority to speak with young people at each other's throats. That cannot be good for our movement at all.
No.
And I do think Candace has a little more responsibility there for the the fires that she's starting, and I just hate to see that going on right
And
now.
she's become anti-Trump. And I think a lot of it, it's kinda like to Mock's point last week, I think a lot of this is gonna be, it's gonna be very telling at the midterms and in, 2028 too, because it's gonna fracture our party. This stuff is gonna absolutely fracture, which is so freaking stupid, because at this point, we should be so unified because the left is an absolute hot mess. They are just a dumpster fire right now. If there's any point in history where we should be unified, it's right now. But we'll find a way to step on our own junk. This is what we do.
Mhm.
And of course, we're being divided because of this Israel stuff. This is what's happening. So this is what's going to happen. Like they are finding a way to fracture us, and they're doing it. And we're going to be split in two now, and then maybe even more. There's going to be more fracturing because of this issue right here. I just I cannot. It's just what's going to happen in 2026, you guys. This is what's going to fracture us, and it's what's going to make people go to their camp or another camp, and then people are going to vote for candidates based on who Candace votes for, Candace and Tucker vote for, and who the others vote for. Just watch. That's going to happen, and it's stupid. It's just so
Yeah, and for
stupid.
me, it's this is so much like it has become more than the Israel issue now. This division, because and I think we talked about this pre-show. Like I do care about Israel. I'm happy to support Israel doing what they want to do, but it's not my number one issue. The
Right.
time that I spend thinking about it is not as much as I think about a million different issues in
Right.
America, and I can kind of ignore that because it's not my top issue. So if Candace has a different opinion on it, that doesn't bother me. We have the same opinion on a million different things. But something I do care deeply about is the youth movement in our country, um, turning out conservative voters, supporting Trump while he's in office to get his agenda through. All of those things I care deeply about, much more than the foreign policy issue. And now Candace is fracturing that. And to me, that is
It's a
a
deal
much bigger
breaker.
issue.
It's a deal
Yeah,
breaker. Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
becoming a lot more difficult for me to ignore it because I was happy to get over one thing, but I cannot get over this because this is long term consequences, in my opinion. Um, and I hate to see that.
Yeah, I do too. I really do too. And we got to take responsibility. Everybody's got to take responsibility for their health, which is why I like All Family Pharmacy. We love All Family Pharmacy. They have everything you need from essential medications to biohacking support. You can get them all delivered fast with the doctor's prescription included. Unlike a lot of pharmacies out there that are pushing vaccines as the only option, All Family Pharmacy believes that you have choice and medical freedom. And so they have ivermectin and mebendazole, and they've lowered prices on that by up to 25%, making them super affordable for you just like $2 a capsule, I think is what they have for ivermectin. Plus, you can save an extra 10% with code CHICKS10. Flu season is here, you guys. So it's really good to be proactive and stock up on meds for that, like Tamiflu, they have antibiotics, antivirals, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, vitamin C, DK, magnesium, stuff like that. They have flu kits and sinus infection kits, which is really great to have on hand because you know when you have a sinus infection, you don't want to go sit in an office with a bunch of other sick people. So stock up now. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS10. Do not wait for flu season to hit your family. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS10. Do that.